Hello guys, welcome back. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video on the tools I use to start this whole leather crafting journey, or just crafting with leather. You can do a lot of different things with these tools, but I'm a leather crafter, so these are the tools I use for my leather crafting. These tools can be used with other than leather, but I use it for leather crafting because that's what my expertise is. Before we get started, make sure you guys like and subscribe to this channel, as well as leave a comment. Let me know what tools you guys use and what tools you feel are the best. Now, this is a video based on tools that are on a budget. So I'm not going super high with the prices. I'm super low, not going too cheap, but I'm also not going crazy high, like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I get started with my leather crafting. What I usually do is I try to find something around the range of $20 to like $50. Usually when I go over $50, it could be something that I really need, or something that I really purchase based on like really good positive reviews, and based on if I'm going to be making a certain leather item that's going to be using this item a lot, this equipment a lot, then this is what I'm normally going to use. All right, let's get started. So the very first item that I always recommend getting is a skyvine knife. So this is a Japanese skyvine knife. Basically what it is, it's used to cut leather, especially if you're going to the thick range. Now if you're going to like 3 ounces to about 6, I usually use like a skyvine knife. Basically you hold it like this, and you use the tip right here and you cut at an angle. So the thing about this, and the good things about these products, is that you can sharpen these with a skyvine knife sharpening, which I'm going to show you guys real quick. Now with a skyvine knife, you're going to need 2 things. So because to make sure that your skyvine knife is able to be used in the future for a long run. So this is a double-sided strop. You can get these on Amazon, Rocky Mountain Leather Supply. A lot of leather companies carry this. This is used to sharpen your skyvine knife. So this is a double-sided strop, but this is called a sharpening rouge. So how do you use this? So a lot of people don't know how to use this. So basically what you do is you put the rouge on the one side of the strap, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna get the skyvine knife, which is my favorite tool of all time, and you'll get it and you'll sharpen it like this. Now, what it does is it sharpens a micro blades inside, so like really close, you see it chipping. So what you're gonna do is this smooths it out to make it sharpen a little more. Now, I'm not an expert in doing sharpening skyvine knife, so if you guys wanna see a video like that, go to someone else's YouTube channel and watch a video how to use a strap and a skyvine knife to the max. I'm not a super expert. A lot of different other countries are really experts that use rocks. They use a whole bunch of things sharpening, but that is one of the items that I use. It helps a lot. Helps with cutting thick leather all the way up to 10 ounces. You can cut anything with the skyvine knife. Highly recommend using that if you need to cut designs, custom designs, stuff like that. Once you get a hang of it, you can use it to cut anything, any project. It will work perfect for you. Now, next tool I use is an edge beveler. So this is an edge beveler. As you can see, each edge beveler has a number on the side of it. Number right here in the center of it. So each number is based on how thick your leather is. So the higher the number, the higher the thickness of your leather is. For example, if you have a belt, for example, you have like a 9 ounce, 8 ounce belt, you're not going to use a number 2. You're going to use a number 4, or you're going to use a number 5. If you try to use a number 2, what's going to happen is that it's going to be very difficult to grip it, because it's going to be so wide and this is going to be so thin that you're going to try to grip it and you're going to have a hard time. And then even if you are able to skyvine, you're only going to get a little bit of it, so it's not going to make it really completely round. Now, this is my personal opinion. Like I said, if you have an opinion, leave it in the comment section. Let me know how you guys feel about using certain numbers, certain leather. I stick around the 1 and 3 range because I make a lot of wallets, as well as passports, bindfolds, things like that. So I always stick with 2. 3 is usually the sweet spot when it comes to wallets. I use a 2 because this is how I feel. This is like the number 2 has always been perfect for me. And then when you use the edge beveler, you need to sharpen it. So I'm gonna show you that real quick. Now, for the edge beveler, for sharpening, what you're gonna need is you're gonna need a sharpening jig. Now, I use sharpening jigs a lot because I'm in my shop most of the time making wallets day in and day out. So this tends to get a little bit dull. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to sharpen it. Now, if you're lazy and you don't sharpen it, what's going to happen is it's going to get really dull, to the point that when you try to bevel the edges, what's going to happen is, because it is not sharp, is going to fold and bend and mess up the edges of your leather walls and your leather stuff to the point that you're going to have like rigid, like for example, it's not going to be a smooth cut line, it's going to be kind of rigid. You're going to go a little bit in too much, a little bit out too much. It's a whole mess. I went through a situation of not sharpening my edge beveler. It kills your projects and makes you to the point that you want to throw it away. I highly recommend you sharpening. So this is a sharpening jig. You can get these on Rocky Mountain Leather Supply, as well as you can get these on Amazon. They are made out of metal, but what you're gonna do is when you look at the bottom, it has numbers. So it has numbers from 0 to 6. What you're gonna do is you're gonna match up your beveler's number with the number on the sharpening jig. Take 1,000 grit sandpaper and you're gonna put it on top of it, and I'll show you. You're put on top of it, and then you're going to, so mine is a 2, so I'll put it on the 2. You're gonna put it on top of it, and you're just gonna go down like this. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get this groove into these grooves with your sandpaper, and you're gonna go up and down like that. And then after that, you're gonna use your strop and do the same thing. Do that for about 5 minutes. Your beveler will be sharp as possible to be. It'll be just like new. I knew some people who actually got some really cheap bevelers and they sharpened the crap out of it, and then it worked just as good as the high-end ones. Now, doesn't mean it's gonna last as long as the high-end ones, but it means it's gonna work. So that is something that I highly recommend. Do not get tools if you're not going to prepare to sharpen them, because if you do not sharpen these tools, you will feel like, one, it'll make you feel like your skills are not as worth it. 2, you'll feel like these tools are crap, but little do you know that it's because you're not putting the work in to sharpen these tools. So make sure you sharpen the tools so your project can be flawless. Now, the next tool that I use is called a wing divider. So now, if you guys are not experts, which most of you know are, of punching your holes straight without using a line on your leather, then I highly recommend you using a wing divider. So this is what a wing divider looks like. Mine is a little bit dirty, has glue on it. Don't judge. We have all things that are dirty. So this is a wing divider. What it does is it creates an imaginary line on your leather products to make sure that you're able to punch your stitching holes in it and then stitch it in a complete straight line. This is the perfect thing to get. You can get these on District Leather Supply, Rocky Mountain Leather Supply, Handy, Amazon, anywhere. They don't cost that much, around, I'll say around $10 to $20, but you can use this dial right here. Sorry, this whatever you want to call it, this rolly thing that adjusts to the size. So basically, when you twist it, it can go closer, or you twist it and it goes wider. This is for projects, for example, if you're the kind of person who likes to stitch leather belts and you like to double stitch them together, you will use this to make a line to be able to stitch it, so it's perfect. If you guys are the people who like to stitch wallets, which I am, which I'll give you an example of a wallet that I have would be this. This is a wallet that I call this the E. So basically what I did was I made the imaginary line so I was able to stitch the holes right here, and then I will thread it later on. So I use a wing divider for every single thing I do. It is one of the items that you really, really need if you want your stitching straight, because people pay attention to details when they buy leather goods. Now, if you're doing it for fun, that's something that you can just do. But if you're looking to sell it in the future or give it to a gift for somebody for holidays, you're gonna need a wing divider to make sure your lines are straight, so people can not disrespect your projects, or disrespect your hard work, because you need appreciation when you do things. So that wing divider, make sure you get it. Now, another item that I use, it is called a stitching chisel. There's a whole bunch of different names for this thing, but I call it a stitching chisel. Now, stitching chisels have numbers on it as well, which determines the space between your stitching, so how far and how close your thread will be when you thread your wallets. Me, I use a 5 and I use a 6. I don't use 4s. Very small. If you hand stitch and use a 4, you will definitely understand why I don't use it, because it takes a long time for you to thread a leather project when you use the 4. So this is a stitching chisel. So this is from Comoving Craft. Comoving Craft is a company that I love. They're based in, I think, Korea. They make amazing products. They make stitching chisels, they make edge bevelers, they make everything. Now, The prices are very good. Now the problem is they're in different countries, so when you order it, it's going to get here. Nowadays it sucks because there's not a lot of American brands that make like items, leather crafting items in the U.S. Maybe somebody needs to start. You watch this video, you work on metal. Maybe you can make some stuff, and I will buy it from you. But in the meantime, this is Come Open Craft. Go check them out. Everything I put in this video will be in the link in the description. But you will use these, and as well as you will use a maul. You will put it on the stitching line that I told you, and you would punch it through to make holes. This is an item that you definitely will use. Without this, you can't stitch anything. You can't thread anything. So highly recommend this. Now this goes with it. This is a maul, a nylon maul. Recommend using this. There are different kinds. This is from Tandy. So this is a craft tool maul. You can also get Berry King mauls. They're very expensive. I have a Berry King maul, which this big boy. So I use this when I punch holes, when I do belts, anything with buttons. So this weighs about 48 ounces. This is about 16. This is overkill, but also I'm a big dude, so I can handle this. It weighs a lot, so I wouldn't recommend getting something this big. But this is what I've been using for years. I want to give some advice to people with leather crafting. You do not need to buy a very expensive maul. You usually need to buy one that lasts a while. As long as it punches your holes through your leather, as long as it lasts a while, it is a perfectly fine maul. Everybody gets caught up in the name brands. Everybody gets caught up in the pricing. It does not matter. I've seen people make masterpieces with the cheapest tools possibly. I don't know how, but it's happened. So this one is, as you can see, it's taking the beating, but it will last until the plastic basically just disintegrates, which will take a long, long time. By that time, I'll probably get a new one. So I can do another video about that, telling you guys about that, but this is the Berry King one. This is handmade. They say it's handmade in the U.S. It is immaculate, it is wonderful, but it's not cheap. So don't spend too much money and make yourself broke on these tools before you start selling stuff. I have two things I want to tell you guys what you need, and then you guys will let me know. I have 4 things you guys will need. Now, but we're gonna, go through them pretty quickly. So these are a needle case for needles. So I use John Jameson needles. You can get them basically anywhere. They give you a pack of 25. They're very cheap. I would say they're the best needles. Now, there are other companies like Main Thread Supply. They make needles too by C.S. Osborne, which is a company in the U.S. So it all depends on which needles you like to use. This is the most popular one. But this is a case, and then basically you take your needles out, and these are the needles that you would use. They are magnetic needles, so they're easy to keep together, easy to find. You don't have to worry about losing them. Now the needles are numbered, but I would say follow the number chart based on the thread you have. If you get main thread, if you get Ritza thread, if you get Tandy thread, just follow the chart. There is a chart that tells you what size needle that you need for the thread, because the holes are a certain size. So you would need specific needles numbers to fit the thread in the hole. Some of them are too small, some of them are too big. So it all depends on which one you would use. So like I said, needle holder, and needles. And these two, this is a thread nipper, and this is a lighter. So you can get these anywhere from Walmart. Don't make it too complicated. This is a thread nipper. So this is what you use after you're finished threading your project. You will use to cut the thread, and then you will use your lighter to burn it. If you use a lighter and you're too close, you could burn the leather. And that's not a good look when you're giving it to customers, because you have a burnt mark right at the end, and then you have to explain to them what happened. So some people don't use lighters because of the fire. Some people use plasma lighters, which is like a plasma. I don't have one here. I use a lighter because I'm really pretty good at it. But plasma thread is a good thing to use. Plasma lighter is a good thing to use instead of a lighter. Battery charge, don't worry about going out. It doesn't leave a lot of residue. Thread nippers, you always have to have one of these. Very cheap. You can get a pack on Amazon, as well as you can get a pack anywhere. These are not strictly for leather craft. These are for anything. I would say you use anything with yarn, cotton, thread, anything. These are available for you to purchase, and these work perfectly. They're very, very sharp. Don't poke yourself. I poke my nails with it. It destroyed me. 2 things I was going to show you that you would need for leather crafting. Hey, I found it. I'll show you guys. This is what it is. it. So you can use this instead of a lighter. Highly recommend it. It doesn't battery charge. Charge it right here. But anyway, that's that's something you can discover, and you can do it whenever you feel like it. All right, guys, and like I said, this video has been pretty long. So again, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. Let me know how you guys feel about this whole leather crafting tools that you use. Now, this is, like I said, a beginner stage of the tools you use for leather crafting. I'm not speaking of like certain details because these are just things imperative that you would need. Now, there are some other things you can buy for like detailing if you want to make it super nice, but we'll do another video. So these are just the required items. Next item that I'm going to introduce you to is thread. So there is tons of thread. Now, I use Matthew.Haddix thread, which is a flat thread that's made, I think, in the Ukraine. You guys can confirm me on that in the comment section. Now, it is really heavily waxed. It is lays flat into your projects as well. It comes in tons of different colors. The only difference is that it costs, I'd say, a lot more than a lot of other threads. So if you're willing to spend the price for something like this, I highly recommend it. It is kind of the standard now for a lot of people that use Matthew.Haddix, and this is what it looks like. It comes in I use a lot of it. It used to be a big roll, but this is the thread. Now, there is another thread company in the USA, which I am trying to work with that and test it out. It is Main Thread. This is Main Thread. So their thread is a lot cheaper than Ritza. It is about, I would say probably 1/4 of the price of Ritza. Comes in so many different colors. Comes in 2 different kinds as well. Only problem is it doesn't lay flat, and so it's round. And it's kind of difficult to thread the needle in this thing. So this is what it looks like. It is rounder, and it is a round braided thread. If you go on Main Thread Supply, you can actually watch the machines make the thread. Me, based on preference, I use Ritza. I'm trying to move the Main Thread, but it's hard. It's a big learning curve. So let me know if you guys use Main Thread. Is that something you guys like, which one you like, Ritza or Main, and then we can talk about it. And the last but not least, this is a scratch and all. This thing is something you will definitely need. It is one of the most important items that I have in my shop. It is used to mark your designs when you lay your wallets down, as well as trace your designs when you have a custom file that you're tracing out to make custom work, as well as perfect for belts, perfect anything. So I have a longer one and a shorter one. Like I said, you can get it anywhere. This is something you really need when you're marking your projects, when you're trying to make points to glue your leather down, to your stitching, everything. I highly recommend this. It's called Scratch and All. I appreciate you guys watching. These are all the tools I use for my leather craft. And like I said, this is a budget-friendly video. It's something to get you started. These are like required tools. Now, we can get into situations like Tokenol. I want to get into that because those are kind of like detailing work. I'm getting more of the beginning stages of you learning how to do leather crafting. So if you guys have any questions, leave a comment in the comment section. Leave a like as well as subscribe to the channel. I will be making more videos talking about the journey of leather crafting, as well as what I can do to help you guys learn how to make leather crafting. Check out the website, Matthew.Haddix.com, as well as all the Instagram, social media, Matthew.Haddix. Send me a message, talk to me. I'm happy to talk to you guys. I'm based out in Tennessee, so if you guys are close by, say hi, say what's up, have a conversation, and we'll get back to you. But in the meantime, keep going on your leather journey. We love to see crafters. Peace out.